Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen face unusual F1 test in Barcelona not seen since 2014. F1 drivers get their first true chance to take to the track this week and compare their speeds to others in Barcelona. But Friday's session will see an unusual test take place for some of the drivers. The 2022 F1 season is just weeks away from the opening race in Bahrain, with anticipation building on what to expect from the new regulations in place. Changes to the aerodynamics of the cars are expected to promote closer racing, and there are early suggestions that Ferrari could close the gap to Mercedes and Red Bull. Nothing will be clear until the first race of the season, but this week's pre-season test in Barcelona will give the teams some indication on their pace. The three-day testing session will not be televised, or produce live time sheets, and teams are restricted to running just one driver in either the morning or afternoon tests. Each session will run for 4 hours, giving teams and drivers plenty of time to play around with different setups. Testing in Barcelona is notorious for being dry for F1 tests over the years, but, with the new 18-inch tyres being used this year, Pirelli are keen for drivers to get used to them in wet weather conditions in the tests. Weather reports indicate it could well rain on Friday in Barcelona, giving the drivers the chance to test out intermediate and wet weather tyres. But the drive claimed that water trucks will also be on standby to soak the track to create wet weather conditions. It was claimed that F1's last wet weather test was back in 2014 in Jerez, when the last set of regulation changes were brought in for the start of the turbo hybrid era. Lewis Hamilton incidentally had an accident in the morning session of that wet weather test after a front wing failure, and he was unable to complete any more laps. Heading down the start-finish straight, Hamilton's front wing broke and went underneath his car. Hamilton was then unable to avoid heading into the gravel at some speed before crashing into the barrier front-on. Some drivers have already undergone shakedown tests with their new cars, and there have been some concerns about a lack of visibility caused by the much bigger tires. Lando Norris said, "The look is also different, starting with the bigger wheels with these fairings. And that could become a problem at some tracks, like Monaco or Singapore." Alex Albon added, "At the FW44 shakedown, we had kind of the worst of it, a dark, gloomy, wet day at Silverstone. But it wasn't too bad. I think we're going to struggle more when we go to street tracks, when we come towards Monaco, Baku, Jeddah, that's going to be the tricky ones. Because on open tracks, you can see far ahead of you. With the blind spots of the tire and the deflectors, it takes away a lot that immediate view, kind of as you're looking into the corner.